Operation Epic 3 is entering its most deadly phase. Pete Hegseth gave the green light for the deployment of 5,000 Marines and the USS Tripoli to the Strait of Hormuz, signaling the start of ground operations. At the same time, 10,000 drones with props are swarming the skies to neutralize the Shahed swarms, while Israel has already leveled 7,600 targets. Trump, with unprecedented cynicism, admits to Russian assistance to Tehran as part of a global deal, making it clear that he does not expect an internal uprising in Iran. The Middle East is on fire, with the global economy in a state of collapse. Mystery and blood surround Operation Epic 3, the crash of the American KC-135 in western Iraq, on the same day as the fire on the aircraft carrier Gerald Ford, raises serious questions about the safety of American forces. While CENTCOM denies hostile fire, the Islamic resistance in Iraq celebrates the downing. This is the fourth manned aircraft lost, at a time when the U.S. has already struck 6,000 targets inside Iran. The coincidence of accidents, both in the air and at sea, suggests either Iranian sabotage or dangerous fatigue of military equipment at the heart of the conflict. The global economy is facing a deadly threat, as the Strait of Hormuz has turned into a dead zone, cutting off 20% of the world's oil flow. According to Axios and JP Morgan, the market is losing 12 million barrels per day, while the historic release of reserves by Trump and the IEA covers only 10% of the deficit. The situation is leading to explosive stagflation and a biblical recession for Europe. If military operations do not immediately open the strait, Trump will face the dilemma of either a full-scale invasion of Iran or a global economic collapse. The former Prime Minister of Israel, Naftali Bennett, warns Turkey of an immediate military response if it continues to support radical Islam. Ankara under Erdogan is accused of turning from a transit country into a professional hub for ISIS, while also supporting Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood. The suspension of trade relations and the rhetoric about the capture of Jerusalem have put Turkey in the crosshairs of Israeli security. While Greece remains a pillar of stability, Israel makes it clear that it will not allow the creation of a new Islamist alliance that threatens its existence. The fateful end of the Ottoman plans is approaching. Iran is establishing the doctrine of holistic attrition, declaring a constant war against the West with the goal of complete energy blockade. The Hatam al-Anbiya military staff warns that every tanker, Western and Israeli, is a legitimate target, predicting that the price of oil will soar to $200. Tehran intends to cause economic suffocation and social uprisings in Europe and America through continuous sabotage and harassment in the Gulf. While Turkey trembles at the impending collapse, Greece emerges as a stable stronghold, prepared for the unpredictable consequences of global destabilization. The fateful end of cheap energy is here. The FBI issued an urgent warning about an imminent suicide drone attack over Los Angeles, causing panic among the American public. The threat concerns cheap but deadly drones that can penetrate traditional air defense systems, targeting critical infrastructure and often striking at key locations. While Trump escalates operations in the Gulf, bringing the conflict onto American soil marks a new nightmarish phase of the war. The technology of kamikaze drones, which was tested in Ukraine and the Middle East, now threatens the center of global entertainment, marking the end of America's invulnerable zone. The planet is sinking into economic Armageddon, as the price of oil reached $120 after the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump described the crisis as a small price to pay for neutralizing Iran, while BlackRock shocks Wall Street by restricting withdrawals from large funds. The loss of 20% of the world's oil supply is causing a financial bloodbath. While Iranian attacks hit desalination facilities, Greece is strengthening its energy security, watching the collapse of economies that relied on Iranian energy. President Trump is considering sending his own forces to Iran to seize stocks of highly enriched uranium. A prerequisite is the complete suppression of the Iranian air defense and the air superiority of the U.S. and Israel. The targets include strategic locations such as Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, as well as critical ports and refineries to force a surrender. The operation is planned to be airborne and of limited duration, targeting the heart of the nuclear program. While the West escalates, Turkey remains in confusion, with Greece weighing its role as a strategic partner. The U.S. is proceeding with further strengthening its military presence in the Middle East, as reports indicate another aircraft carrier is preparing to deploy in the region during a period of increased tension with Iran. As reported by Fox News, the aircraft carrier George Bush completed its final preparations on Thursday before its deployment, marking its entry into operational readiness. According to a statement from the U.S. Navy, the ship, along with the warships accompanying it and its air wing, successfully completed the complex operational readiness exercise. The George Bush is expected to be deployed in the near future and head towards the eastern Mediterranean. At the same time, the Gerald Ford, the largest aircraft carrier in the world, was recently deployed in the same geographic area. At the same time, the Abraham Lincoln remains in the Arabian Sea, where it is participating in operations related to the war in Iran, maintaining an active role in the developments of the region. The regime in Tehran, in a move of suicidal arrogance, is implementing a double-game strategy, leading the Middle East to the brink of the abyss. With war drills in the Strait of Hormuz, the Revolutionary Guards are threatening to strangle global energy through a naval blockade. At the same time, Iranian intransigence is peaking with uranium enrichment at weapons-grade levels, blackmailing the West for the lifting of sanctions. The surgical precision of the provocations, combined with the restriction of International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors, makes conflict inevitable. While Tehran is betting on the West's fatigue, Israel is preparing preemptive strikes, as the fate of the region is sealed with blood and deadlock.
Saudi Arabia changed
its stance, giving the green light for a military strike, as Prince Khalid bin Salman warned in Washington that Trump's inaction would fatally strengthen the Iranian regime. The Gulf monarchies fear that Khamenei's survival and impunity will spark internal unrest, similar to the Arab Spring. At the same time, Trump has set up a strategic trap. The massive gathering of American ships makes a strike almost inevitable, trapping Khamenei between the demands of the USA and the risk of being overthrown by the hardline Revolutionary Guards if he backs down.
Thank you for watching us. To be the first to receive all the latest updates, please like and subscribe to our channel.